Scott Armstrong was an FBI special agent and a newly assigned member of a cybercrimes task force at the Boone County Sheriff's Department. His job was simple: protect children from exploitation. On March 1st, 2014, just around midnight, Armstrong was at his own residence when an incident occurred involving a 13-year-old boy. For reasons that were never clearly explained, Scott Armstrong put the teenager in a chokehold, strong enough to cause the boy to lose consciousness. Later, the boy's parents took photographs of his neck. The images showed visible redness and fabric patterns, clear signs consistent with strangulation. Official police reports confirmed the time and date of the incident, but they failed to explain why the boy was at Armstrong's home, why Armstrong choked him, or whether anyone else, including Armstrong's wife, was present. These gaps were never publicly answered. When the case went to court on June 24, 2014, Armstrong pled not guilty to misdemeanor third-degree assault. During the arraignment, he admitted to placing his arms around the boy's neck, but claimed he did not choke him. However, he also acknowledged that the boy lost consciousness. Armstrong never provided a reason for his actions. The sentence was minimal: 1 year of probation, 25 hours of community service, and a fine of just $325. A federal agent assigned to protect children, who nearly killed one instead. James J. Smith was a special FBI agent responsible for handling informants. One of them was Katrina Leung, a businesswoman, political fundraiser, and secretly a double agent for China and the United States. Smith and Leung began an affair that lasted nearly 20 years. During their meeting, Smith allegedly brought classified FBI documents with him. Leung would later steal those documents directly from his briefcase. The information didn't stay with her. It went straight to Beijing. What makes this case even worse is how long it went unnoticed. At one point, another FBI agent discovered that Leung had already passed sensitive information to a Chinese handler, codenamed Mao. And yet, incredibly, the FBI continued using her as an informant for another 11 years. In 2003, James J. Smith was finally arrested, not for espionage, but for repeatedly lying to the FBI about the affair and for failing to report that Leung refused a polygraph test. Smith avoided prison by striking a plea deal. His punishment? 3 months of home confinement, 100 hours of community service. That was it. Richard Miller was a 20-year FBI veteran and the first FBI agent ever indicted for espionage. On October 3, 1984, Miller was arrested alongside 2 supposed Russian refugees, Svetlana and Nikolai Ogorodnikov. They weren't refugees, they were Russian KGB access agents. In exchange for classified information, Miller asked for $50,000 worth of gold and $15,000 in cash from the Ogorodnikovs. He was also having an affair with Svetlana Ogorodnikov. What makes this case especially disturbing is what the FBI already knew. A prior psychiatric evaluation had labeled Miller unstable and recommended he be placed in a harmless position until retirement. Instead, the FBI left him in a role with continued access to national defense and espionage intelligence. He was severely overweight, repeatedly warned about his health, and reportedly took 3-hour lunches, gorging on stolen candy bars while reading comic books. After his arrest, Miller claimed he wasn't betraying the country at all. He said he was attempting to infiltrate the KGB by recruiting the Ogorodnikovs, a last-ditch effort to revive his failing career. The court didn't believe him. Richard Miller was sentenced to 20 years in prison, later reduced to 13. He was released in 1994. Putnam is the only FBI agent ever to be charged with homicide. On June 8, 1989, Susan Daniel Smith, an FBI informant, disappeared. While her family and friends desperately searched for her, Putnam knew the truth, but kept it to himself. At the time, Putnam had just been transferred to the FBI's Miami office and had begun an illicit relationship with Smith. According to Putnam, the relationship turned sour when Smith began threatening to tell his wife and supervisors that she was expecting his child. He claimed he had offered to adopt the baby, but she demanded that he leave his family. In a fit of rage, Putnam strangled Smith, dumped her body on a road near a coal mine, and returned home to his wife and 2 children. An autopsy later revealed that Smith was not pregnant. A year after the crime, Putnam confessed, saying he had been haunted by guilt ever since. He was sentenced to 16 years in prison but was released after 10 years for good behavior.